Able to complete chapter 2 today. And before I forget, I know toward the end of class, there are so many things going through my mind. So I want to make sure you write it down. This is your homework. It's due on Monday. And this pertains to the new material that I hope to complete by today, okay? If I don't complete it, of course, you won't turn it in. But this is, I'm sure I should be able to complete the new material. And this homework is on the new material. So this is chapter 2, problem number 19.
Is it in the chapter or?
I hope you have been using the ebook. I didn't have anything to do with, I think the other faculty voted. See, the problem is we are, and it may not be, something that you are averse to. I think in the age of everything being digital, perhaps you are more attuned to an ebook than I am, perhaps, because I've always been used to a physical book. We are under a rental system, and the publisher did not want to give us a deal such that you will have access to both a physical book as well as an ebook. So we had to pick one of the two, okay? So that's why the faculty voted to pick. So this is, I hope you have been using your ebook, and this will be, under questions and problems. Okay, at the end of chapter 2, under questions and problems. So at the end of each chapter, there are multiple segments, multiple sections, like summary and conclusions, and chapter review and self-test problem. You may want to do it. Maybe some of you have been doing it. Answer to chapter review and self-test problem. Then another section is concepts review and critical thinking questions. So, and this is the final section, I believe, questions and problems. No, there are some other sections too, Excel, Master, and a mini case also. So this is number 19 under questions and problems. All right? So due on Monday. A hard copy, don't try to email it to me. My printer sometimes is out of ink, and I don't want to grade it visually and not being able to see what you're doing. So show me all your calculations, and okay. So one thing, don't just give me the final answers. No, I don't want to see your final answers only. I would like to see how this gives me a chance to see where you are making any errors, if any, and I'm in a position to give you some partial credit, as opposed to if you give me just the final answer, it's either gonna be full points or no points. You see what I'm saying here? So if you're taking 4 steps right and miss one step, then I'll give you most of the points that way. So I want you to see where I'm coming from. All right, let's move on then. Let me review it in case there is a quiz at the end of class today. So you want to pay attention to, you get a chance. There isn't gonna be anything which I'm not gonna review with you. So hopefully, even if you didn't attend class last time, if you didn't open your notes, before coming to class, hopefully you can still do well on the quiz. So pay close attention. And if you have questions, feel free to answer any questions. Okay, look at the 3 types of assets. When you add the 3 assets, so I'm talking about the balance sheet. The balance sheet essentially tells you what a firm has, what it owns, and what it owes. Okay, what it has and where the financing is coming from. Okay? So this is your balance sheet. There could be 3 types of assets. Current assets, life is 1 year or less. net fixed assets, we also call them long-term assets. Okay, so there are multiple names for the same underlying concept, so you want to know all those names. Net fixed assets, long-term assets, and this balance sheet does not show you, but a firm may also have intangible assets like patents and trademarks, you know. So if you add the 2 or 3 types, you get total assets. All right, total assets. So this plus this gives you total assets.
What is it again? What was it? Total assets.
Current assets plus net fixed assets is total assets, right? If the firm does not have any intangible assets. So you add different types of assets and that gives you, and essentially most firms are going to have just 2 types of assets, current as well as fixed. Okay, on the liability side, let me ask you this question now. How do you come up with total liabilities? This balance sheet doesn't tell you, yes?
Short-term plus long-term debt.
Current liabilities, okay? Current liabilities plus long-term debt. Not short-term debt and long-term debt, current liabilities and long-term debt. That gives you total liabilities. Okay, this is, so if you take this number, current liabilities and long-term debt, if you add the 2, it gives you total liabilities.
So it's current liabilities plus long-term debt?
Yes. Current liabilities plus long-term debt gives you total liabilities. All right, next. What is net worth? We talked about, you know, this person's net worth, our president's net worth, our, yes?
Current assets minus your current liabilities.
Once again, please.
Current assets minus your current liabilities.
That's net worth.
Is it like how much money you
Oh, wait, no,
have
it's
versus
assets
how much
minus
you?
liabilities.
Assets minus liabilities. It's there on the first slide. Okay, now, where do you say it? This here. But it says shareholders' equity. Did I not give you 3 different names for the same thing? Net worth, shareholders' equity, stockholders' equity, owner's equity, same thing. 4 names for the same thing. Owner, total assets minus total liabilities. It gives you how much an individual is worth, how much IBM's owners are worth, the size of the pie, and then of course you divide by number of shares to find out, you know, what each share is worth. This is called the book value, remember? So this is also called the book value of equity. So remember that. This is also called the book value of equity. So 5 names I'm giving you. So this is shareholders' equity, owner's equity, stockholders' equity, net worth, book value of equity. 5 names, same thing. 5 names represent the same thing.
Do we
Tot-
need to know all those?
Yes. I mean, shareholders, stockholders, owners, you know, we use them interchangeably, right? And then net worth and book value of equity.
Can you say the 5 names again?
Stockholders, shareholders, owners, same thing.
I thought you said
Net
book
worth,
value.
yes?
I thought you said book value.
Yes, and book value of equity. Owner's equity as well as book value of equity, same thing. This is the book value of equity. Okay, and you see here, there's nothing new. I think you must have missed, you know. Now that I'm gonna give you a quiz, so hopefully you are paying closer attention to it. This is book value. So did you not, you know, catch it, you know, at that time, you know, when I was talking about book value of equity, obviously you missed it. So, yes?
What did you say market value was?
Yes, market value of equity. Who will tell me what the market value of equity is? We talked about Apple, I showed you. That's why I tried to, yes?
It's the current stock price times the current number of shares outstanding.
Yes. I showed you Apple's book value of equity, did I not? Okay, the idea is to not only speak but show you so that, you know, using multiple senses, you are able to retain, you know, most of the information I'm trying to share with you here. So the current stock, so the market value of equity is the current stock price times number of shares outstanding. So you take today's stock price right now and find out how many shares, common shares there are, multiply the two, then you have the market value. All right? Okay, did I miss something from this here? What is net working capital? You have net working capital. This here, net working capital. Yes, net working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. So, so here, can anyone tell me what the net working capital is for 2002? Just tell me what this number minus this number for 2002. The first column. What is net working capital? This number, 1112, minus on this side, this number. Current assets minus current liabilities. That's your net working capital. Anyone has any questions on this? Yes?